Hello YouTubers and welcome to MudMax Metal Detecting. Now if you saw the last video you'll know that I was very excited to get my hands on this. This is the new Golden Mask 5+SE, kindly sent to me by Tony Strong of Metal Detectors Online, your new UK distributor for Golden Mask machines. I will put links to his website and to his Facebook page in this video so you can pop along, say hello, have a chat, ask questions, etc. etc. Now, after introducing you to the machine in the last video, this weekend I got to take it out. I went for a hunt on Saturday and on Sunday. Now on Saturday, I put the big beastie on. Hey mon, look at that, what a beastie. Yes, had some fun with the big coil, and it was good fun too. Still a learning process, don't forget. I'm taking baby steps with this machine, I've got to learn it. Now, the little coil came out on Sunday night, and I had a lot of fun with that as well. So here's the video of the 2 trips out. And at the end I'll give you a few brief thoughts on the machine. Not too much though, because as I say, at the moment this is a learning curve for me. It's very early days, but here's the video of the hunts with a lovely find, by the way, towards the end. Very nice little artifact. Okay, let's get stuck in. Okay, first target with the Golden Mask 5+SE. Nothing special, but I do think it's iron, and I think I need to recheck my ground balance. I'm still learning that. At the moment I'm trying it in the auto, and with the big coil, I understand these machines, they take a little bit of time to get the balance. I think I need to have another go at that just to fine tune it. Yes, I'm afraid this is as good as all the other machines at finding shotties, but then if it didn't find shotties it wouldn't find the goodies. Absolutely beautiful signal in amongst all the little iron tones. I'm running the 2 tones, the bitone at the moment, just to get a feel for the field, see how much iron there is here. Probably play around with that later on. But yep, good old shotty on the second hole. Okay, we have a tiny little loop back button, and we have a fly flying around the camera as well. I don't know if you saw that. But yeah, tiny little loop back button, not too far off the surface, but again, an absolutely banging, hear it all day signal. I did ground balance the machine again, and I was patient on the auto ground balance. I just waited. It took quite a while, but eventually it got to the point in the cycle where it said complete. Screen came up, auto balance complete, and it's working an absolute dream now. So yeah, trial and error. Okie dokie, 6.5 inches down, just moved a slightly claggy clump, and if that's not an old copper coin, I'll eat me at. I think this is the first treasure for the GM 5+SE. Absolutely gorgeous signal again, singing out in the ears. I love these headphones. I'll talk about those a bit more in a minute actually. Right, let's get this out the ground and have a look, shall we? No, no, you can't do that to me. No, that's not fair. It's a Bhutan. Still a lovely signal. Could easily have been a copper coin, but it isn't the copper coin that it looked like when it was that way in the hole. Ah, damn blast and all the rest of it. Oh well, let's move on. That's cleaned up a little bit with a little bit out. It was a bit iffy. Numbers up. Signal cleaned up as well. Right, let's get down there and have it out. Yeah, hey, I'm a happy chappy. It's an artifact, and it's an artifact that I don't have a lot of. It's a thimble. Oh, looks quite crude as well. Bit battered, but nevertheless, it's a thimble. I think they say that when the holes are further apart, it's older, isn't it? These ones aren't. These ones are quite symmetrical, so I don't think it's mega old or anything. But all the same, it is an old thimble, nonetheless. So let's get it on close up and you can have a look. Fantastic. Okay, there she is. Nice old thimble. And that was just about length of the probe. Sidewall, obviously not as easy to pinpoint with a large coil. But yeah, absolutely lovely signal. A little bit, as I say, it wasn't a perfect signal at first, but it definitely got better when I had a little bit off. In fact, it was a perfect signal. But yeah, full length of the probe, old thimble, lovely. Well, I've quickly turned you on because I have no idea on this. It's a disc, but it's a lead disc, and it appears to be worn smooth. that was length of the probe again, banging signal. Actually sounded like it was on the surface. So this coil, it really isn't missing much. But yeah, it's definitely worked in discish. I'll give it a quick clean. I don't think there's going to be anything on it, but it is a lead disc that, well, it definitely had a purpose once, didn't it? I'll clean it and then we'll have a look at it in a bit more close detail, if there's anything on it to look at, that is. Well, I've given it a clean up and I'm stumped. It's lead. It's definitely been worked into that shape for something. There is a slight bit of something around the edge on one side. It's so bright out here, it's very difficult to tell me if I'm actually looking at the side that I'm talking about. So it might have had some kind of pattern on it at some time. But it's a big old lead disc. It was way on down there. There was no missing the signal. Yeah. I wonder what that was a long, long time ago. Right, I've put you back on again because we've got another deep one that's got roundness. Got the first plug out. Had to go a bit further down. Again, an absolutely lovely signal. It's very, very round. Please don't be another button. Come on, must be coin time. Ooh. Oh, it is. But it's old coin. And it's worn coin. But it's definitely a coin. That might be a George the First, I don't know. Possibly even earlier. It's very thin. It's got that kind of early George look about it, to be perfectly honest. I'll clean it up, but I don't think we're going to get anything off of this one. But a cracking signal, and it is a coin. Happy days. Well, I'm sad to say that this coin is absolutely toasted. It is a goner. It's an early coin. You can see how thin it is, look. And it's definitely a coin. There's absolutely no sign of a shank or anything. It's perfect size for an old penny as well. So I'm pretty sure that's what it is. A very early George penny, probably. That's my guess. But it's toasted. It's worn away. Oh well, what a shame. But still, nice to get coinage. Plus 65. Probably going to be the last target of the day because it's absolutely boiling out here. It's tea time anyway. Day one of two coming to an end, but let's get this out and have a look, shall we? Right, proper down the hole. Little tiny thing in the clod, but I'm struggling to break it. I can see it. I don't think it's anything good, but I can't actually get to it because the ground's that hard. So I'm gonna have to. There she goes. What are you? Oh yeah, way on down. Oh, you might be a little bit. Oh, you are. Okay. You're missing the back piece, but you are one of those little round buttons, possibly military. I'll clean it up and see if there's anything on it. But I do think it's old and it was way on down. And I don't think this soil's too kind to the finds, generally from what I've had so far. This is one of those fields that seems to do them a fair bit of damage. But we'll have a close-up all the same. Okay, little tiny button, possibly an old military button. Hard to say really. It's been eaten a bit. It's got a kind of rough feeling to it. So I think this earth has, if there was any design on it, it's certainly chewed it off. Questionable though whether it ever did have any. But that was proper down there. Very small object. Hasn't rained for 4 weeks. And the big coil gave me a no doubt signal with very good VDI numbers. So I'm very pleased with that. I'm doing what I set out here to do today, really. A tough pasture for any machine, really. But I've been pulling out some nice high conductive targets, small ones, and I'm getting good depth as well for such dry soil. So, no complaints. Finished little high conductor on a really dry day. It's modern, but it could have been so much more. Perfect size for a Roman, wafer thin. Picking out the targets, really picking out the targets. Really pleased with the performance, I have to say. Ooh-wee, The digging is so hard here. Bit of lead, but yep, nearly the length of the probe in very dry soil. That had me working. It was good numbers all the way. It knew it was there, but by crikey, digging that far down in this rock hard soil, it is really giving me my exercise. Whew, I deserve a beer when I get home. Aha! Yes, every machine I've got and every machine I've bought over here has been fooled by these little nail rivet things, and yep, just like all the others, bit of a jumpy signal, but you can't really ignore it. It's a bit like you get with some of the Roman coins, to be honest, and then out pops this little rivet thingy, which brightens up lovely when you get the plug out. Solid plus 56, 57. If there's such a thing as solid 56, 57. Not a breath of anything off the back. I definitely want to see what this is. Lovely, lovely, clean audio. Ugh. Really having to give this a good thump. Ugh. Ooh. We're right on it. And those numbers haven't moved a squeak. It's still saying plus mid-50s. So that's about as stable a signal as you can get, really. There's something there. There it is. Of course, there's no... Doesn't mean you've got a good target, of course. Just means you've got a nice, repeatable target. Now, that's a bit of an odd shape. I don't know what we're going to pull out here, but I'm going to be very careful because it might be good. Then again, it might not. What are you? Ooh, what are you? Well, it definitely had a purpose, whatever it is. Don't think it's too old. Yep, plus 55 all the way. That's what you call a very positive identification. Yeah, it's probably some little twist, some little lever, probably something from the 50s or the 60s maybe, but an absolutely clonking stable signal. Oh well, it was something once. Maybe somebody knows what it is. I certainly don't. Every time I think I'm on top of this target, I'm not. And finally, oh wow, what are you? Oh wow, this is some kind of decorative piece. It's got what looks like a beetle on it. Wow, that's a bigger target than I expected. I started out over there and I was breaking away, and it was actually singing from a distance. I don't know whether this is some kind of furniture fixture. I don't think it is though. It's bent. Let me get you on close up and have a look at this because it's really, really nice. Okay, look at that. It's got some kind of animal. Looks like a beetle. Let me turn you around. That's better. Get the angle of the sun right and then you get a better look. Look at that. It was definitely a one-piece thing. It either fitted onto something because you got the pattern on that side, but you haven't actually got a printed pattern on that side. You've just got this disc. But look at that. It's got some kind of creepy crawly on it, no doubt about it. That was an absolutely booming, crystal clear signal, as it should be with a metal detector. It was close to the surface. But yeah, that blew my ears off on the golden mask. That really did. What an interesting find that is. Slap bang in the middle of the plug. That's one of the good things about using smaller coils. It's much easier to pinpoint. There's another one in the 70s. Oh, there she is. Oh, what are you? Okay, straight after that strange little insect piece, we have what appears to be possibly another decorative piece. Artefact though, I think it's broken off. Let me get you on close up, see what you folks think of this. Okay, so what do you make of that? I can't make out whether that's a piece of metal that's been curled around or it's been curved into a kind of swirl. It's definitely, I'm pretty sure it's not junk. Look, it's got a little broken bit there. I think this hung off of something else. I'm pretty sure that that is decorative. Very dainty piece of something. What's left of something. Any ideas? Tiny little target. I've been over this area an awful lot. Still produces. Okie dokie. Super 70s on the numbers. Oh, this earth. Ha! That was roundness. That was roundness. That is roundness. Oh, go on, be a coin. Go on, be a coin. Do you know what? That could well be a coin. If it isn't, I don't know what it is. Right, let me get my glasses on, let me have a close look. But we could have a coin at last knock-ins at the end of a beautiful Sunday evening in the field. Let's have a close-up, shall we? Okay, calm down everyone. Don't get too excited. It's an old halfpenny piece. There's Liz. Good evening, Mum. You're looking resplendent on your coinage. Now, a tiny, tiny little target. The old half peas. Really wasn't much of them. And an absolutely booming stop me all day signal. It may not be very old, but we finished with a coin. Right, so that was the first weekend with the Golden Mask 5+ Special Edition. So I'm going to wrap up with a few initial thoughts. Okay, first of all, the shape. I like the straight stem. This is the second machine I've had with a straight stem, and with the 9-inch coil, an absolute doddle to swing this thing. It really, really was. Obviously, the big 15-inch coil was a bit nose heavy. Coils of that size usually are. But it wasn't that bad, to be perfectly honest. But with your standard size coils, this thing is an absolute breeze to swing. Very well balanced. The second thing that jumped out straight away was how easy it was to use this. You've got all these little icons. So there are quite a few things you can change on this machine, but they're all sectioned into their own little homes. So it's very, very easy to navigate and find your way around. I like that. And last but by no means least, the 106 wireless headphones. Yeah, very light, very easy to use, great tone for me personally, found nothing wrong with them, and pretty well put together. Now, headphones can be subject to people's preferences, so I'm not saying everyone's going to like these, because there's hardly any headphones out there that everybody does like. We're all very, very fussy about that, aren't we? But for me personally, yeah, I like them. What more can I say than that? So, if you want to know anything more about Golden Masks, don't forget to give Tony a shout. All the links are in the description to the YouTube video. Pop along and say hello, speak to Tony, and I'm sure he'll help you with whatever it is you want to know. Okay, in the next video, we're going to look at the settings and the control box and what happens when you change things, the nuts and bolts, so to speak. So until then, good luck, happy hunting, and I'll see you soon.